Here we've got North 49, Etienne Grobler. He's the president of North 49. He'll be presenting the e-commerce portal. American Payment Solutions, Patty Benitez, channel executive. She'll be demonstrating the credit card processing functionality. Avalara, John Litwa, he's the sales manager over there at Avalara, a Sage Inventory Advisor. We have AJ Khan, who will be demonstrating the Sage Inventory Advisor, and then AccuDart. We have Justin Pearl, who will be showing us the warehouse management and automating warehouse management in Sage 300 using the AccuDart enhancement. So a little bit about the companies. North 49 has a lot of longevity in the Sage 300 space, formerly known as ACPAC. And they are the premier provider of integrated e-commerce solutions. Avalara automates the compliance process. It automatically calculates the sales tax that will be attributed to a sales order once it comes into the Sage 300 system from North 49. And then APS, American Payment Solutions, credit card processing. If you want to reduce your credit card processing rates, I strongly suggest that you have a conversation with American Payment Solutions. They have a lot of functionality that will enable you to adhere to credit card processing requirements so that you can get the lowest rates possible. So I strongly recommend just reviewing their option. A Sage Inventory Advisor is a cloud-based application, and that enables Sage 300 customers to accurately forecast demand of products so that you can create those purchase orders for products that you need to assemble in the manufacturing process or distribution process. And they have a great dashboard that provides visibility of your entire inventory. Optimize Our Inventory, they're inventory specialists. They work with partners to help streamline the process when implementing inventory management solutions. And we have AccuDart, who optimizes and automates the warehouse management processes within Sage 300, and they've been around for a very long time, great reputation, and since 1988, actually. And with that said, we'll go ahead and move on to the workflow. So what we're going to be talking about today is how we place an order through the North 49 Sage 300 e-commerce portal. And that would be, you know, a customer service person or a customer placing an order through North 49. And all that order information goes into Sage 300, where Avalara can take all the order information and optimize the sales tax for that given address with all the sales tax rules in that local jurisdiction. And then Sage Inventory Advisor is a forecasting tool that like I said before, will optimize your purchasing and make sure you can fulfill any orders based on customer demand. And then Optimize Our Inventory will work with all of the third parties here and make sure, along with the partners, make sure that any integrations, any special requirements that a particular customer might have, they'll work with the channel partners to make sure that everything is tightly integrated and the workflow, the customer can achieve the ROI on the workflow. And then AccuDart is a warehouse management solution for Sage 300. So that takes all the order information that is placed into Sage 300 and optimizes the pick and pack process. And American Payment Solutions will find the best rate for the credit card processing if the customer chooses to pay with credit cards. And then all the shipment information from AccuDart will go back into Sage 300, where North 49 will pick up all the information, including the tracking numbers from AccuDart. And so the customer can view all of their information over the web. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Etienne so he can start off with the North 49 web portal.
Thank you, Adrian. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate. We know that you are busy. What I'd like to do is give us a brief overview and then take us into a live demonstration. And as Adrian has said, we want to take you through the entire process and what that would look like. A well-defined integrated web presence, of course, is critical, and it's critical for a whole number of reasons. First of all, your company needs to market and advertise. It is critical in the market that we live in now that your image, your service level, your entire company persona is put out on the web. People are able to see it and experience it. And for that reason, everything from the very design of the website to the way in which it navigates through has to be customized, has to represent your company, your product to your particular target market. It's also necessary so that you can expand your market in a world where buying online is becoming the norm. My last number of purchases, in fact, this morning, I got notification that my wife had placed 2 orders on Amazon.com. It is the reality in which we live. The market more and more is expecting that we drop a package off at your front door. But probably even more importantly to that is that people might be driving right by your door in the morning and purchasing from your competition. It is becoming very much the norm that one would do your homework, if you will, on the web and then drive out to the store. So even if the intent is not to purchase online, shoes. I do not want to purchase a pair of shoes online. I do not know where they're going to fit my very awkwardly shaped feet. But I do want to do my investigation. I want to look at pricing. I want to look at what's available there, what styles, what colors, everything else. And then I drive out and do a purchase. The last purchase I did locally was from Best Buy. I did all my homework online and then drove out to Best Buy and said, I want that particular product. So I know that it's not necessarily the intent of businesses to expand their market and start selling, back to the UK and Australia and New Zealand, or even across the country. But it is becoming the norm to have a presence on the web where investigation is done and where you are going to represent and showcase your product. And for that reason, therefore, and the fourth reason is that you need to become the go-to place for product information. Your website needs to have the data on there. It needs to be the place when I think I want to buy something, I'm going to go there. If I want to buy a Samsung tablet, I go to Best Buy. I don't even bother with the source or any place else. I go to Best Buy, they've got reviews, they've got a bunch of product information, got 5 or 6 product pictures I can look at. It is the go-to place. You need to be seen as the go-to place. You need to be seen as the experts in your market. And also a well-designed and properly integrated e-commerce platform or web store is going to reduce the administrative overhead and burden on your staff by giving, especially in a B2B environment, certain control over to your customers. What is the status of my order? When is it being shipped? Where is it right now? Give me a duplicate copy of invoice number 123. What is my account balance? Can I pay my account online? All of those things without that is going to generate a phone call into your administrative staff. Take that, move it out to your customer. And so the question probably is not what you gain, but what is it costing you not to have a good web platform. So with that introduction, let me take us through to a live website. This is samltdonline.com. It is open. You can access it. It is where we play around, kick ideas around. It's not necessarily designed to be a hugely graphically beautiful site. If you want a few of those examples, I'll be happy to provide them for you. But this is where we play, and this is where we kick things around. This is a typical B2E, so business to business, business to consumer website. So, for example, I can see prices before I log in. But the moment I log in, it now adapts the website to show me my prices, my abilities, my item list, etc. I'm going to go ahead and log us in here, and we're going to probably, once we log in, you would want your B2B customer to land on a portal page of some sort. Within the capability of the product, we of course have the web store, we have product information, PDFs, manuals, repair warranty manuals, whatever you want to store on there within the e-commerce or the web portal, the shopping cart portion of it. We have what we call the customer portal, which we'll go through in a second, and then we have a sales rep portal. And the sales rep portal really allows your internal people to kind of grab an iPad, head out on the street, or they're out at a show, and they can process orders on behalf of customers. Typical B2B customer is going to be able to come in and have a look at their account activity, and this would be something that you want to feed them. For example, your addresses, the last 2 years worth of sales data, shipping information, whatever here is necessary for them to get an overview of their account. They're going to be able to view their transactions online. They're going to be able to pick out an old invoice that they want to see, drill down into that invoice, and then once they've had a look at this invoice, they can of course go ahead and print themselves a copy or save a PDF version of this invoice. So you have now reduced the phone call to your office saying, I have not got that invoice. We can pay our account online. The customer can go in, see what their open invoices are, either just simply pay the entire invoice, or if you want to, we'll show them a little piece of that particular invoice and they can see what they're paying there. Make the payment, we'll take them off to APS, it will process the payment for them, bring them back, and process a receipt directly into the system. And we can see our open orders, and for this particular customer, this morning I deleted all open orders so I can actually demonstrate, once we place the order, what that's going to look like. Let's move along. We want to put all the information at the hands of this customer. So we're going to allow this customer, and you can see my shopping cart is empty here, to go ahead and order in whatever way is most convenient. We want to get him to what he wants to do as quickly and efficiently as possible. So he can go back into his portal, drill down into his old invoices and look at them and say, okay, I want to reorder that item, and I want to go ahead and reorder that item from my old information, and whatever here you want to allow him to draw down or pop open additional information, go ahead and add these items into my shopping cart. So he's looking back at old data, adding information, and we can see that those two items are now sitting in my shopping cart. Likewise, we're going to do the old-fashioned way, show me data either in sort of a grid format or whatever makes sense to your customers. He can go ahead and enter here, or we'll take him through to the product data. And then we're going to show him a lot more information. We're going to show him information about the product. You may also be interested in customers who bought this, bought that, a whole bunch of product reviews, etc. So really we're trying to upsell him or remind him here, if you're buying a power washer, you may also want to have a look at nozzles or detergent or whatever it is you're looking at. And finally, we're going to allow him to build his own wish list or his own catalog, if you will, of items that he most frequently orders. And of course, from here, he can go ahead and simply add a product into his shopping cart. And whatever the graphic design of this would look like becomes almost immaterial. It will have to be designed to fit your particular environment and what you specifically want to do. Place our order. We know who this guy is. We asked him to log in as a B2B customer, so we can take him through the checkout process very quickly. We do not need to ask him where he is shipping this. We do not need to ask him what his carrier or freight might be. We know everything about this customer. And at this point, the process has now been completed. We've handed him over. The order has been submitted to Avalara for tax processing. They've come back with a zero tax on this particular customer to this shipping based on the items on this order. I'm going to pause here for just a second before I complete here. Let's give over to my colleague John at Avalara and ask him to just expand on the concept of how Avalara here would react to a request for taxes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And just to reiterate for everyone, Avalara is a technology company, and what we do is we specialize in the automation of the sales tax calculation, exemption certificate management, and the file and remittance process. We are an OEM product with Sage, as well as having over 530 pre-built connectors. Why this is important: number one, as an OEM product, on a yearly basis, Sage is saying Avalara is our sales tax compliance vendor of choice. And number two, as mentioned earlier in the presentation, businesses are reaching out through an omni-channel type of business, and they want to be able to touch customers in a variety of ways. So if you have an ERP, an accounting platform, shopping cart, website, all of these could possibly need sales tax calculations, and Avalara can come in to assist. During this call out, pretty straightforward stuff. You can see there's not really anything flashy that's happening. It's all happening behind the scenes. But the system is triggered to send over transactional data to Avalara's tax engine. And based off of that transactional data, we're making a real-time sales tax calculation and putting it back onto the invoice. In addition, we're also looking to see if your customer that you're selling to has an up-to-date and valid exemption certificate on file that can be housed and stored within our system called CertCapture. CertCapture is basically a digital repository where you can track, store, and manage all of your exemption, resale, W-8 and W-9 certificates. Since all of this information is flowing through our tax engine, we're able to capture enough data where we'll actually go behind our customer base and file and remit their sales tax returns on their behalf. We offer a full return service. We're compiling all the data, transferring that to the appropriate state or jurisdictional form, file and remitting on your behalf. We handle all notifications from states and jurisdictions. And then lastly, we're going to digitally archive all of the sales tax returns that were filed on your behalf. So in the event of an internal or external audit, you'll have all of this detailed information at your fingertips, and you'll be able to pull that right out of our admin console. If anyone has any further questions, please feel free to ask or get in touch with us after the presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, let me complete the process then for us here. The customer has now got a confirmation ahead of them. They are going to choose their payment method. The payment methods, of course, are controlled by the terms code that you've given the customer internally. And for this guy, we are going to do this on a purchase order, and we are going to, let's make this automated demo, and we're going to go ahead and place this order. The moment the customer places this order, a whole number of things happen in the background. He gets a visual confirmation on the screen that the order has been placed. The system will react soon. There you go. So he now has an order confirmation that he can have a look at. At the same time, we have sent out email confirmations, and I've received mine. So a confirmation would go out both to the customer and to us internally, and here is our internal copy of what this looks like. So here is a copy of the order that I have placed. And that document then is processed at the same time back into our accounting system. There should be and will be absolutely no recapturing of data or documents whatsoever as we run through this process. So at this point, the customer has now placed his order. Let's go back to my account, and we're going to see that this order is now open and waiting. So he can immediately go in, check this order, check the detail of this order is now waiting for shipment. This order has been processed. He can have a quick look at it. He can drill down into this order and get a detailed copy of this order, and again go ahead and reprint that. I'm going to pause at that point and just kind of take us over and show you my Sage 300 screen here, which I have open. And this is it. I do hope you can see that. So I've now flipped over into Sage 300. The customer has placed the order online. I can go ahead and open my order entry here. And I'm expecting to see that order which have been processed on the web available for us to process here. So here is order entry. It will be the last order, so I'm just going to go straight there. Here is my order automation demo. there are the 4 items which I processed. So that order is now available. It's into the system. It's into the stream. Very typically, you would do something like put the order on hold. We do have an order control screen, which a controller can then use to look at orders coming in and either very quickly approve them, take them off hold, and put them into the flow so they can go through to pick and pack, or keep them on hold, for example, for something like a credit card payment or some prepayment to come through and be processed on them. And so I'm going to stop at this point and give keyboard and mouse control over to Patty from APS, and she can take us further through the payment processing here. Patty, over to you.
Thank you, Etienne, and good morning, good afternoon to everyone. North American Payment Solutions, also American Payment Solutions, is a credit card processor which fully integrates with Sage 300. One of the advantages of our integration is the fact that we work closely with the folks that are presenting today. North 49, as you saw, it has a seamless integration with your website where you could actually bring your order into the system, and we're able to allow you to pre-authorize a transaction directly in the order screen or completely capture the funds. We do offer 12-hour and in some cases 4-hour funding, and I'd like you to keep that in mind. Before I show you exactly where the transaction or the credit card processing transaction will be processed, I do want to mention the fact that we at North American Payment Solutions are offering a special promotion to everybody that attended today's webinar with regards to the other companies that are presenting today. We would like to help you pay for any of the third-party products being presented today, any one of them being presented today, and I will give you further details at the end of the presentation. So please pay close attention because I definitely want you to be able to take advantage of this promotion. So Etienne, I just have a question for you. Do I have to post this order before I can process the transaction, or has it already been posted?
The order has already been posted. It's ready to process. You can go ahead.
Thank you so much. So that's just one less step that you'd have to click on, or one less click, because the order, as Etienne brought it in, has already been posted. Now, in this case, you will have the APS window come up and allow you, it'll actually default the credit card information directly from your customer setup. So you don't have to key in the information. If security is provided, the user will be able to add a credit card on the fly at this point, which I am not. And I'm not going to authorize the transaction. I just wanted to be able to show you that you can definitely pre-authorize the transaction from here, add a credit card on the fly, as well as include the CVV code information. If you do decide to pre-authorize a transaction, please know that the pre-authorization can be valid anywhere between 7 and 30 days. You do not have the 7-day limitation anymore that many processors do have. And with that, I do want to mention also that we take advantage of Avalara's tax compliance and the information that they verify in order to provide it to Visa and MasterCard and try to obtain the best rates for you. If you're processing within the continental U.S., we actually offer level 3 processing, which guarantees the lowest rates from Visa and MasterCard directly. And Etienne, with that, I am pretty much finished showing this screen. I'm going to go ahead and hand it back over to you.
Thank you, Patty. I do believe we are going to hand over to Justin. Justin, over to you. If you want to take over, do you want me to hand you control? Oh, there you go. Thank you, Adrian.
Sorry, I just realized I was muted. You're going to hand over control to AJ, and I was going to use his screen.
Justin, thank you. I have given over to Adrian. She needs to hand over to Amjad.
I handed it over to you, Amjad.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm the one who's sleeping here.
That's right. So while we wait, AccuDart is a real-time inventory management solution that integrates directly with Sage 300. So it does install like another module inside of Sage. So unlike some of the other WMS systems that are out there, there's not a lot that needs to be set up because we're going to work the same way that Sage is set to work. So for example, if you invoice time of shipping, we'll do the same thing. If you automatically create back orders, we'll do the same thing as well.
So I've got to show it to you because I don't know how to transfer it over to you. So go ahead, guide me in the steps. I don't know how to.
You need to show your screen.
Chad, we're not seeing your screen. So there could be a button hidden underneath another application that's prompting you to show your screen. I've got you logged on twice, so let me try another one here.
Yeah, the top one, yeah, panelist.
There you go. Let me try that one.
No, I got it, yeah. Now we got it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, sorry. We try one more time to give Justin the... Good. Okay, now it's working.
Okay. So as I was saying, AccuDart installs another module inside of Sage. And what I'm going to show you now is our desktop version. So what you see on the desktop is exactly what you'd see on the scanners. Same number of lines, characters, everything like that. So as soon as someone turns on the scanner, the first thing it's going to do is ask them to log in. So if they enter or scan the wrong ID number, it's going to say login not found. Once they enter the right ID number, it'll say what warehouse they work in and ask them for a password. Again, if they enter or scan the wrong password, it's going to say so. Once they enter the right password, it'll now show them a list of functions that they have access to. So once that order is in Sage, it can now be ready to be shipped. So the user would hit 1 for ship sales order. And it's going to ask them for quantity, yes or no. If they say yes, it's like being in a grocery store. The cashier will scan an item and say how many they have. If you say no, each time you scan an item, it'll count it as 1. And you can default this question too. I have it set to ask just to show, but you can set it to yes, no, or to ask. So I'll hit enter for yes. Then you'd enter or scan which order you want to ship. So if you enter or scan something that doesn't exist, or it's been fully shipped, it's going to say so. Once you enter a valid sales order number, the customer comes up to verify to make sure it's correct, yes or no. So I'll hit enter for yes. And then once you do that, we're going to display at the bottom what you need to ship. So we're going to show you what you need to ship based on the pick sequence in Sage. So the 0041 is the pick sequence, A1-310/0 is the item, and 98 is the quantity to be picked. So we would scan the item. So you can scan the barcode. The description will come up. It's going to ask you how many you want to ship. So you can enter the quantity. If you're completely done with this item, you can scroll either left or right to scroll to the next item or the previous item. So if I hit the right arrow key, it's now going to go to the next item. So we would scan the item. Again, enter the quantity. Again, it's going to reduce the quantity that's already been scanned. We can go scan that item again, or if we're done again, we can hit the right arrow key and go to the next item. If you do scan something that doesn't exist, it's going to say so. If you do scan something that does exist but is not on that particular order, it's going to warn the user. So it is going to validate to make sure you are shipping the right items to the right customers. So we can scan the last item. Again, quantity. When you're done, you can hit enter, or you can scroll to the end. You can hit enter on a blank item. And now you can post, review, add, or cancel. If you go hit R for review, it'll show you what you've scanned so far and how many. If you realize that you forgot something, you can go back and you can add more. Or when you're done, you just hit P for post. And now we're going to update everything in Sage. As if you've done it manually, update all the inventory levels, lot or serial numbers if they apply, and it'll either give you the shipments or invoice number, depending how Sage 300 is set. So for me, it's set just to create the shipment. So if we go back into Sage 300, we go to order entry, if we go to the shipments, if we go to the last one, this is what we shipped right now. And if you do have optional fields, it will say who shipped the order, the date, and the time. So you can go back and see who shipped what when, but all the information's in Sage 300, the same as before, except instead of writing it down on a piece of paper to hand to the office then or later on, now it's all being done real time from the scanners, and we're going to validate and make sure everything that was scanned is on the order, there's enough quantity on hand, you're not over shipping, that lot number exists, it's not expired, that serial number is available, things like that. So now I'll pass it back to AJ.
Thank you. Okay, so the next software that we want to show is for the planner, the person who's watching as the orders go out of the door, and the person who's responsible for making sure that there is minimal stock out, that orders are not being shipped out as a last-minute thing with expensive freight because of stock out, and also not losing orders is a major concern. So stock out is a huge issue, and almost half of the distributors that we surveyed described that as one of their major concerns. The second issue is overstock. You don't want to stock items that are just sitting there and not shipping. So these are the three numbers. Almost half of distributors complain of difficulty in managing stock out, or they have items that are not selling as well, but they have too much in stock, so money is getting tied up. And third, if they want to follow a model that is optimized for their industry, that allows them to make rational decisions, spreadsheets don't cut it. So they need a software that will help them figure out what to order, what to reorder, what is the lead time. There's a lot of complexity, and that's really what the Inventory Advisor software is designed to do. It's a cloud-based software, and what it does is it takes all of that complexity out of your system and have it available for you as a dashboard. I'm going to show you some of the features of this product. So what I have is a web portal, and this web portal is displaying a typical dashboard that has been configured. You have periods that you can choose. You can choose days or month or weeks. As I said before, the three key concerns of distributors is to avoid stock out situation, overstock, and be able to know how to fill orders rationally using the latest algorithms that are available out there. Most distributors today rely on past knowledge or on spreadsheets, and it really doesn't cut it in today's world. The amount of stock that a distributor carries and the variety of it is a lot, and it's beyond a spreadsheet. So what you're looking at is a dashboard that is automatically using your live data, and it's you can set up a timer. This one is being updated overnight, and what it does is the green indicates the inventory classification. So the inventory that really makes money for you is the green color ones. The inventory that is in blue is an inventory that doesn't really move, and then the inventory in red is something that it occasionally moves, but when it does, it gives you a very high profit. So there's an inventory classification that will automatically happen once we implement Sage Inventory Advisor. It's the ABC concept. So as I look at a stock holding and I click on an item, what it does is to simplify things and make things easier for us to take action. It automatically prioritizes it. So it's showing you the top 5 in every dashboard. So once you choose a period, it's showing you what to do, what actions to take very easily. So stock holding, there's surplus order, excess stock. So I'm going to go to stock out, and I'm going to click on it. If you click on any of these items, it will give you the absolute detail that the system is storing. So it's storing all the detail of the item, including the classification, but it also shows the lead time, which most ERP systems do not store, safety stock, replenishment cycle. It gives you fill performance. I'll pick another item for now, just that I have set up. I'll pick number 3427. And for 3427, I had more data. So you can see that it's giving me not just current forecast, current history, but also giving me future forecast. The gold line gives me the forecast based on an algorithm that helps you optimize your inventory. So there's a lot in here, but I'm going to stop at this point and ask you to think about a simple concept that we all have to deal with, which is, do we want to rely on a rear view mirror, which is what our ERP system is? It gives you past history, or do we want to have a windshield where we can look up what's coming up ahead? And that's what Inventory Advisor do. It empowers you to look ahead and manage your inventory in a forecast. With that, I'll hand it over back to Adrian. Take questions.
Thank you, everybody. That's a fantastic presentation. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and show my screen just to review the workflow that we just showed. So the order came in through North 49. Avalara automatically calculated the right sales tax given that address of the order, and all the information was reported back into Sage 300. Sage Inventory Advisor looked at any purchasing requirements to fulfill that order in respect to customer demand. AccuDart optimized the pick and pack process in the warehouse. And American Payment Solutions calculated the credit card processing and charged the customer's credit card if that was their preferred form of payment. And North 49 reported back on the e-commerce portal all of the information so that the customer could self-serve themselves and see the tracking numbers and everything associated with their order. And that eliminates customer calls back into your organization looking for information about their order. So I'm going to go ahead and share contact information and announce some of the questions that we have here. We have a question from John. Thank you, John, for that question. Regarding e-commerce, can we build a responsive site? If so, can we see a simple example of how to build a responsive page?
Okay, yeah, good question, John. Absolutely. Currently, the numbers put out by Google is that in excess of 65% of all web access now is via mobile device. So building anything but a non-responsive site is going to eliminate a very large portion of your potential customer market. So all the sites we now build is responsive. Very typically, we would do that in three broad categories. So we expect somebody to view a site on a full screen. We then, the next step down, expect them to view a site on an iPad turned vertically. And thirdly, we want them to be able to view that on a small device. I don't know if Adrian, you want to give me screen control, or should I invite John just to give me or to contact me, and I can actually show him what that looks like?
I can give you screen control. Here you go.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you know what? We do have a poll showing right now. I do have a poll announcing or asking the customers to answer. So just hold off for 1 second. Are you interested in learning more about any of the following? If the audience can answer North 49, Avalara, APS, NetStock, AccuDart, that would be awesome. And we'll just give them, a minute to answer this, Etienne, and I'll close out this poll. I just can't launch a poll after I've already launched it.
Okay, no problem.
So I see 40% of you have voted. I've got 50%, and then we'll show Etienne's screen. And then also, Etienne, I don't think that Patty got a chance to show the credit card processing interface, and I think it'd be great if she showed her screen so that she could show just the, the interaction with APS's credit card processing module. When you're done showing your screen.
Okay, perfect.
I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and let's go back to your screen and make sure you have control. Do you have control now? Yes, you do, Etienne.
I do have control. Let me share my screen. Here is a customer screen. This is one of our websites running called Micro Tools. And I'll just demonstrate this very easily. So what would happen here as we drag this down is you will see that currently category and brand is here. That would very normally launch a very large category page. And as we pull this down, the system is going to keep on adjusting itself, and then up to, so this would be about where we expect it to be viewed on an iPad. And when we drag this smaller, we're going to see that the menu down the right has disappeared. Our menu of the drop-downs or hovers have now disappeared because you cannot hover on a mobile device. And we now have a very typical mobile menu button here. So brand, category, etc. now has to be something that you push. And so that would be a typical responsive site. This is also valid inside a portal, for example. Let me take you to a very nice portal. SoftTrack. SoftTrack are the manufacturers of Adagio accounting software. And so here is a portal. This is a portal designed by us, so it's a North 49 portal. And this will actually drop down in two particular stages. So first of all, full screen. Then we're going to pull this down, and you'll see that the logos have now dropped on top and below each other. And then at some point, the logos disappear. And the thought there was we want to minimize bandwidth and data consumption when somebody is on a mobile device. And so we cut out a lot of the graphics, not necessarily, but that would be a typical application. I hope I answered that question for you, John. If there's any more questions that you have, please feel free to give me a yell, and we can kind of dive a little deeper. Adrian, if you want to give over.
And we do have another question from John. I don't know if we could just answer this quickly since we're on the screen, but could we see how a page is built on the back end? I know how a responsive is supposed to work. So maybe that would be an offline question. I don't know if you're comfortable answering that now.
That's a little more in-depth. We do have our own back-end administration portal where a merchant can log in and control. So it is a hosted solution. It's a SaaS solution. We host them. But it is your website, and you have complete control over that website, building the pages, how you want them to look. Primarily HTML code, because in an integrated system, a WYSIWYG becomes a little bit more challenging because you have placeholders drawing data directly from data tables. So it needs to understand the concept of a SAGE item number, segments, pricing codes, prices, etc. So WYSIWYG becomes a little bit more challenging. It requires a little bit more technical than, for example, building a static website on GoDaddy, but it is completely under your control.
And Patty, would you like to have me show your screen so that you can show your credit card processing interface?
Sure, Adrian, I'm happy to.
Perfect. There you go.
Thank you, and I apologize for not showing this sooner. I did just want to briefly show you the different areas in which you're able to process a credit card transaction. Once again, after the order has been entered through WebTelligence, and you can either pre-authorize, as I mentioned before, the tax information will be in compliance through Avalara. At this point, you have the order available, and you're able to now include shipping. You're ready to ship it, and you can go directly in through order entry, invoice entry. You can also process through order entry, simple order entry, and through receipt batch list. So in this case, we had already pre-authorized the order through order entry. I can simply choose my order that I'm ready to ship, and continue with my transaction. You'll notice there's an APS credit card payments button available to you right on the screen, and it's as simple as clicking on that button. This information is coming directly from APS customers. So you can actually store as many credit card information per customer as you'd like. We are PCI compliant. We provide assistance at absolutely no charge to you. And as you can see, we only allow you to view the last 4 digits of each credit card. We also provide the credit card module at no charge. We do not charge for initial setup, installation, implementation, or training. We provide support 24/7, 365 days a year at absolutely no charge to you, and we guarantee a live human being on the other side of the line anytime you call our support team. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and finalize the transaction that was previously pre-authorized. I'm going to click on the capture or void option and then choose capture pre-authorization. It's that simple. You're getting the notification that we're going to go ahead and proceed, and the transaction is now complete. It's updating our portal as well as updating your batch in AR receipt batch. Therefore, Sage has been updated, our portal has been updated, and you're now able to view the history in your AR receipt batch list. You're also able to view the transactions based on the different payment types. As you can see, I'm using Visa right now, but you would be able to see the different payment types per batch and per transaction. That's how simple it is. You can also process refunds and credits directly from Sage. No need to step outside of Sage. And Adrian, I'm happy to hand the screen back to you. And also, before I say goodbye to everybody, I do want to mention how simple it would be for anyone to take advantage of the promotion I mentioned at the beginning. All we ask from you is the opportunity to analyze your existing merchant rates and fees. We guarantee to beat or match any processors, any competitors' rates and fees, or we will pay you $500. I have to tell you, I've been with the company about 2 years, and we have every single time been able to beat all of the other processors out there. Now, with that said, once we establish the amount of money we'll be able to save you, and based on your volume, we will be able to tell you exactly how much of the products that you've seen today we will be able to pay for. So please, do not hesitate. There's no strings attached. All we need and all we ask for is the opportunity to provide you with an analysis. If anything, the best that you can get out of this analysis is the fact that we will provide you with Credit Card Processing 101, help you understand where the fees are coming from, what the true hard costs coming from the different credit card providers are, and where exactly you'll be able to save money and keep any card processor on their toes, including us. So thank you very much, Adrian. I'll hand it back over to you. Adrian, I think you have us on mute. I see there's another poll up. If everybody wants to take the time to review the poll and send your answers. Are you currently using any of the following solutions? It's important to know this because, as you've seen, we do integrate the solutions you see on the screen. We integrate with each other, making it a seamless process for you from start to finish. So if everybody could please just answer, take a few moments to answer the poll. As soon as Adrian has the results, we'll be able to share them with you and continue with the next questions. Or if anybody has any other questions, please feel free to use your chat or raise your hand, and we'll be able to take additional questions.
And Patty, thank you so much. I was on mute.
I figured. Sorry, I just read off the poll.
So how often do you guys work together? Do you do you have a lot of common customers with North 49 and Avalara? Patty?
Absolutely. One of the reasons that the integration to the different products and the different third-party products that are out there are written is because of the fact that our merchants will request it. Today, this morning, we had a request for an integration with North 49 and the Notes Alert. That is something that we currently don't offer, but we will because of the request of this merchant. And I'll tell you ahead of time, based on an account volume, we typically do not charge for writing the integration. So we make the integration available for all of our clients once it is written, and it's at no charge, the majority, 99.9% of the time.
And you've saved customers quite a bit when they're coming off of other credit card processing platforms. As I understand it, you can you have the opportunity to really help people save with the tighter processing regulations that you follow and your relationships with banks.
Absolutely, Adrienne. We've been able to save our merchants an average of anywhere between $2,000 and $112,000 a year, just so you get an idea. And the way that it works, once we analyze your statements and determine exactly how much we'll be able to save you, instead of making you wait a year for the savings, if you're interested in any of these products on the screen today, we'll actually pay for them based on your savings.
And John, this question is for you. When it comes to Avalara, if a customer is going through an audit, do you assist? How does Avalara come into play to assist that customer through a sales tax audit?
So with the integration in place, you've got all that detailed transactional data. So in the event of an audit, we provide a number of very detailed reporting tools that really drive the success of any audit that you're going to be going through. We won't step in from a CPA or tax attorney standpoint, but being able to pull all that information and the exemption certificates and the returns that have been filed efficiently usually works out for the customers in the event that there's some type of sales tax audit going on. One other thing that would be notable, on that topic would be, number one, we guarantee our sales tax calculations. So in the event that you're in an audit scenario and that there's a note that the calculation or rate, rule, or boundary is product taxability is incorrect, we will refund up to the cost of the solution. In regards to the returns, we guarantee that our returns are filed in a timely fashion. In the event that you're in a state or jurisdiction that offers any incentives for timely filing, we push those back to you as the customer, and customer base usually just recycles that right back into the cost of the solution.
And it looks like we have somebody interested in all the solutions that were presented today. They're asking if there's any leasing options where you could bundle all of these together. And I'll go ahead and let Patty answer that.
Adrienne, this is Etienne.
Or Etienne.
Go ahead.
Thank you. We do have arrangements with a number of leasing companies that is prepared to lease these solutions. Contact your dealer, your Sage dealer. If you do not currently have a dealer, please contact AJ, and he'll put you on the right path. And there are leasing solutions available. Typically, we lease just our component because that's what we primarily deal with. But if you do this from a ground level up, you can arrange for all of these solutions to become one leasing package. You can be leased.
And I'm going to close down this poll, and I'm going to share my, okay, so you should be able to see my screen now for the contact information. And we did record this presentation. I will be sending the recording and the contact information in a follow-up email to everybody who attended. And please let us know if you have any questions. We'll be in touch with you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you attending. And I'm going to go ahead and let the presenters close out with any final
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, everybody, for your time from North 49. If you have any questions, our detail is up there. Our website's north49.com. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too, everybody. Appreciate it.
And,
Take care. Oh, go ahead.
One more thing that I wanted to add. This is Justin from AccuDart. We do have other functionality besides just shipping. We also do receiving, wireless transfers, physical counts, assemblies, shipments, adjustments, anything in Sage that has to do with inventory. We have a module for, or can create one for. So it's not just a pick, pack, and ship solution. That was the only thing I wanted to add. But thanks everyone for their time, and I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Adrian. And this is Patty. I just wanted to thank everyone for your time. I hope the presentation was helpful. Everyone on this call today, we're all very excited to hear feedback from everyone that attended the presentation. And if you have any ideas as far as what you would like us to include in our next presentation, we'd love to hear from you. You have our contact information on the screen. Thank you again, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, Patty. Everybody, you take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.